This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
That'll help you.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Oh, hi there. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. We're just hanging out, having a good time. I just got home from work on a Saturday. That's the devil. We're just going to sit and talk about things and, record it. Not just do it off air. Yes. All right, everyone. Let's get to it. Capes and Lunatics 89, episode 89. The March to 100 begins. Starts right now. Welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, and joining me, everyone except me made a trip to the making 2 trips to the grocery store. That young lady over there.
Hey y'all, it's Lil Hellfire. Bunny's gotta eat. Bunny's gotta eat.
No, that's not a euphemism. And making only 1 trip to the grocery store today is
Charlie, the Professor Esser. I went to Walmart, which has one-stop shopping, so
That's
and then there's a bar near Walmart where I sat before I came. So yes,
he was in the 10 drinks or less out.
I got my buyback, so it was all worth it. You get your buyback, it's always worth it.
All right, let's get to it.
Plus, for lunch, I had the beefy Frito burrito from Taco Bell, which is quite nice.
This podcast is now sponsored by Taco Bell, but if Taco
Bell
not
sponsor I'm just endorsing a product I like the comic books we read. We're not paid to say any of these are good. We just say these are good
because I seldom do.
That's true, too.
No kidding. All right. Anyway, speaking of turmoil in comic books, what's going on at DC?
It is a restructuring, but it's not. It was an impromptu restructuring. It's a lot of reindeer games going on over there, and they need to get together.
Okay. Look, let's be honest here. This is under the rubric of, because we have just been bought by AT&T, we're making these movements. And there's 2 ways you can look at it. One is the reindeer games theory, which is that there's people that wanted other people out. Or the other argument is that AT&T coming in is saying, we want these people out. And the third option really is that there were people who wanted people out. Warner's was preventing it. But that now that AT&T has come in, there are people whispering to AT&T saying, we need to get these people out. No matter how you slice it, it is an AT&T issue. AT&T is putting their fingers into the creative pie.
Yeah, but they're not even setting up interim. Usually when there's just like certain steps that people usually take, is all that I'm saying, for interim things to go. This was just kind of like,
do you think AT&T comes in, they say, okay, you
gotta have it happen, but why is it happening right particularly now?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you think they want a certain budget, and then somebody at DC is just like, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get rid of some people I don't like?
Yeah, there's always going to be a short list, but none of the people that were supposed to be gone on that short list is gone. So I just find it interesting.
Come on, Lilith.
Not from Lilith's short list.
Come on, Lilith.
No, not my short list. There was like a short list going around, and it's just like, hedge your bets, people. And it's just like, none of those people.
Come on, Lilith. Give me the drop. The Dido.
I mean, everybody kind of knows Dan needs to go. Like, I mean, I hate to advocate for someone losing their job, but he has been holding back a lot of the creative processes on the comic book side. He's been forcing his favorites, his ideas on everybody, despite how nobody likes it. The fans don't like it. The writers don't want to do it.
Yep.
Just saying.
Well, here's what I'll say about artists who in that editor's position push certain ideas They got rid of Jim Shooter, and all of a sudden, it's the 90s in comics. Arguably the worst era of comics.
Maybe for Marvel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you get rid of a guy who's saying, "Look, we need to have a coordinated idea. We need to have a coordinated effort about what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about. Who is what and what are power sets." Sometimes that backfires on you because everyone says, "Wait, it's freedom. Let's make Deadpool in every issue and make everyone have gigantic guns
and pouches."
And pouches.
Is that what we're calling
for
it
the
now?
ladies? I don't know. I'm assuming that's like I'm assuming that's the Freudian equivalent of the very large gun. Just huge pouches that have everything. It's like I have everything in my pouch.
Let's get it.
First, you say.
let's find an artist who can draw huge boobs and not be able to draw feet.
Every artist ever. Feet are hard, man.
Yeah,
Medieval artists will tell you feet and hands and eyes are the freaking worst.
No, yeah, that is absolutely true. That's why superhero comics are great. Masks. And
one-piece bodysuits. That's why. No, ask any artist back in the day. That's why every superhero had the one piece and then little embellishments. It's just easy. Regular clothes are just like stupid hard.
Oh yeah.
So are we going to see big changes like in the publishing line now? I mean, they said the number of books they've been publishing has been down. Are they going to publish more? Are they going to?
I think they're going to hold on to this for now, and they're definitely going to get rid of some books. Looking at it's interesting that we had a new book that launched, and of course it's a Bendis book. I think that's the first person that needs to go between all of us, but
Okay, let's just dial it back here. What's actually happening is we're seeing a new imprint coming in of the Wonder Comics, which David F. Walker.
Yes, that's the only that's an unlikely friendship. That's like a monkey and a puppy being friends. I'm just saying.
I don't know why a monkey and a puppy wouldn't be friends here, and
or a pig and a monkey. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know why any mammal wouldn't be friends with another mammal. Mammals are very social.
Pigs are not social. They're loyal to like one person, and that's it.
I'm just saying. I don't know. First off, let me just say, and I do want to get because I know we do so much bashing of Bendis. After reading Naomi, after reading a bit of Young Justice, I gotta say I'm not Bendis. Yes, I know. I jumped on the band. Hey, I will admit I jumped on the bandwagon.
You gave in the peer pressure.
I did. But you know what? David F. Walker reminded me that I loved Bendis when he did Avengers. Everyone else was all, I don't like Bendis on Avengers. Like, why?
I'm saying his style doesn't suit DC. For me personally, what I like for the characters that he's writing for does not work for me.
I'm not saying I don't.
His new stuff's great though. Like an independent book and stuff. Yeah.
I told you I liked the first issue Young Justice, and I liked like his older stuff like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and like Ultimate Spider-Man. I like that stuff.
Yeah, it's just it's not being a good fit on DC side for me.
Well, what I think what happens, and this is the thing, and to bring it back to Jim Shooter, because blessed be his name. I think what happens with Bendis is people put him in charge of a lot of things, and so his vision gets put out into this universe.
Oversaturated.
Well, yeah, and then everyone who doesn't agree with that, who basically every fan, there's not a fan of a comic book who doesn't imagine themselves the writer of a comic book. And when you have one voice who becomes dominant in a field, there becomes anger because suddenly it's much less likely that your voice is going to get spoken. So in a world with far more different voices, I like Gwenpool, and so I'm going to find my voice in the Gwenpool side of the universes, or the Howard the Duck side of the universes if you're old school. And then those are guys who just like, big guns and pouches. Well, you can go over to the Punisher side of the universe, and there the twains will meet. Remember that mutants used to always be their own complete different universe, even within like Marvel Comics, because not for nothing, it's a big country. There's room enough.
It was a purpose. It was a mandate for that, though. So yeah.
Well, yeah, but even still, if you think about it logically, there's no reason for guys hanging out in Chelsea to come down to Hell's Kitchen.
Wait, aren't they in the same place?
You mean Westchester?
Oh, Westchester.
I was like, Chelsea's in Hell's Kitchen. I thought that was the same
No,
place.
Chelsea's actually just north of Chelsea.
Okay.
Chelsea is where Bill Cosby lived. It's a much nicer part of town.
Oh, with all the brownstones.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's the brownstone section of Manhattan. So it's like really, that's like when you think about your brownstone section of like Brooklyn and the Bronx and wherever else. That's like the nice part. And then within Manhattan itself, there's like the separate part of Manhattan that's just like these are the brownstones, and those are the things that were built after Avengers Mansion, because Avengers Mansion is meant to be like the Vanderbilt Mansion, which is like a huge freaking mansion in the middle of Manhattan. Now it's like part of a university or a library or something. But I mean, in like these modern times where like you have, they want to try to get like characters that represent everybody. Is it a good idea that not just Bendis but anybody on either side? Is it a good idea to give someone 20 different books? Well, here's what I'll say. I mean, Stan Lee wrote 20 different books, but the difference is
it's different time too.
Yeah, but the difference is that Bendis isn't an editor-in-chief. So, like, when you want to say, oh, Dio or Shooter or whomever your editor-in-chief, because the editor-in-chief is always the villain of everything you don't like in a current series. If you want to say, oh, well, that's so awful that editor-in-chief is being so mean and making their view the thing. Bendis is just a writer. Bendis isn't the editor-in-chief of any of the books he writes on. He's not the editor-in-chief of Superman books. He may be getting a lot of leeway on Superman books, but it's not like he's in charge of the Superman books.
No.
He's just the guy that writes the Superman books. And, not for nothing, they spent a lot of money for Bendis. And, that was DC's decision. And they gave him as many books as he had when he was at his peak at Marvel. They said, at Marvel, when he was the big name at Marvel, they gave him all the Avengers books, just as the Avengers were blowing up. And he defined the entire MCU Avengers universe in its own way.
He created Maria Hill.
Yeah, he created $1 billion for Disney. For Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
And Warner's is hoping maybe this guy will make $1 billion for us. So I don't blame him for the fact that he got put in charge of things. And, like I said, I don't read Superman. I'm not that big of a Superman fan. I haven't been at times, but, he is a very Marvel hero. And if you want to put a guy from Marvel in charge of a hero, Superman might be the guy to put in charge of it. Yeah. And so no, I'm officially off the anti-Bendis bandwagon.
That's okay. You don't have to be, but I still am.
Okay.
He doesn't write about characters that you care about, so you have no skin in this game, Charlie.
Well, yeah.
Charlie,
well, even when you did, it didn't really bother me.
I mean, I don't come into this saying, "Oh, I want to hate Bendis." When he started Superman, I'm like, "Oh, I hope it's good." And
yeah, we hoped.
It's just certain decisions made on that character that I don't think are.
And like I said, his other stuff that isn't the mainstream DC stuff is good to me.
I like the Young Justice #1. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Impulse was about to join Alpha Flight. Yeah.
Well, Alpha's something.
Alpha, yeah.
Alpha. He was about to join Alpha in Canada, and I'm hoping that comes back. No, there's Alpha Group. It's just going to be a bunch of pastiches of Alpha Flight characters. I'm praying for that.
They had an opening for a speedster.
Yeah.
Well, maybe their South Star quit. So yeah, they didn't do a speedster. Aurora Australis. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, yeah. I mean, I would love to see them do that. This is just completely off topic. Yeah, I would love to see DC's version of Alpha Flight, because that would be awesome.
All right, and
I hope they don't just leave it there. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I was gonna jump to TV.
Yeah.
We'll save the Orville for super connectivity. We'll let Lilith off the hook there.
Thanks. Although I watched the first 15 minutes while I was waiting for us to get set up, but I didn't finish it. It's still on the DVR. Because that that episode looked interesting because it was like a first contact episode.
Oh, that's really awesome. Although it does make you wonder, like, basically, you know, I think the union needs to have higher standards for dating. But they're just like all so excited. And it's like, maybe not the time.
But anyway, we talked about it on Thursday with Tyler. But Charlie, did you watch Gotham?
Yes, and no more problems with Jokers. That's all I gotta say.
Well, no, they're ramping up. I mean, hard as it is to believe, Charlie, they're going to go with a third Joker.
What? As if there were three?
Yeah.
Who ever heard of such nonsense?
And there were triplets, and then there were three. There's three of them. This is getting out of hand, Philip.
I told you it's gonna be Joseph, adopted by the Kerr family.
The Kerr family.
Okay, all I gotta ask is, why didn't Batman, right when they said three, say to the Mexican chair, "Okay, what do you mean by that?" it's the chair that answers every question.
Or name them.
And then he's like trying to deduce, what did it mean? It's like, you have a chair that answers every question.
Like I said, he really, I mean, it was like a thing at the end of an issue or whatever, but I just candid in my head as, you know, it's a chair made for gods. He had one shot before his brain overloaded. And, you know, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, did they say that?
John!
Here's what I'll say, man. It's like, you're complaining about Bendis?
Jeff John.
Alone, damn it.
That's what he's walking into. He's like, oh, okay. Let me get my broom and, you know. And yeah, no, I mean, really.
The only mess Jeff Johns needs to clean up is that damn season 1 of Teen Titans. That needed to be tightened up. And hopefully season 2 is better. There was so much unused footage, deleted scenes. I just cannot.
We need to get Doomsday Clock out on a timely basis.
Who cares about that? I totally forgot about it. It does not matter because there's another freaking event coming.
Every 2 months.
You know.
Heroes in Crisis is going to be begin and end before Doomsday Clock is done.
It's our clone saga. It's our clone saga.
Get David Walker on the phone.
Yes. 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 You can never go wrong with that.
Superman.
Seriously, they need to start just like piling books on David Walker like they do Kelly Thompson over at Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, maybe he paces himself. You know, he may be a guy who doesn't want to overextend himself. You know.
Plus, I hear he really likes working kind of like more on like the independent side now. That's what he's working towards. That's what I heard.
Well, yeah. Well, you know,
I can't blame comic creators at this point for not wanting to go that route.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing. Have you read Bitterroot? It's
great.
I know. It's like it is just such a great book, and there's no universal mandates. He gets to create his own. He gets to be Stan Lee. He gets to be a guy who gets to build his own universe. And isn't that what every comic book creator dreams of?
To an extent, I guess. Other times it's just to make your stamp on a really big character.
Well, yeah, but even that you're building essentially for right now, when Bendis has taken on Superman, he gets to say what Superman is. And that defines every other character in the DC universe. Because the entire physics of the DC universe, you know, it's like a black hole. It just pulls the rest of the DC universe into it based on what physics you set up.
You're saying Superman is like the center of the DC universe?
Maybe back in the day, not now.
No. Well, I mean, as far as the physics of it.
DC Comics?
Well, yeah.
Detective
Comics.
Well, Batman has both Kung Fu and hypnotism, I'm sure. So he is technically the most powerful superhero there is.
Not even technically super.
Yes. Well, that's because all comic books do want to make sure that best powers are not held to the supers.
And heavy artillery. Have you seen Batman Damn #1? Hell!
I say it was a tube sock. I stand
Oh, I thought you were actually talking heavy artillery. I was going to say, well, you know, all that orphan money, it's got to go somewhere.
Euphemisms. Remember big guns and pouches?
And it's Philip and I. Come on.
Yeah.
We're on like a Wade's World freaking
12-year-olds.
detox here.
Yes. Well, see, but that's in the 90s. You just had a big gun, and that was your tube sock. Oh, back in the 90s. It was, bitches. It was a tube sock.
Are you not gonna? Are you trying to avoid talking about Arrow for some reason, Philip?
Oh no, we can talk Arrow. No,
Just
yeah.
like, that'll only take me 1 minute. I'm
Amika
intrigued, but I'm
Queen.
pissed.
His other half sister, you know.
I am just so tired of the Arrowverse, specifically Arrow, thinking that women are interchangeable and or replaceable.
So
like, okay, so we can't have Thea, bring in the other one. We can't have this Laurel, bring in the other one. And oh, just for fun, here's another canary.
Just out of curiosity, so is this like, you remember on Magnum PI where Higgins had all the half brothers? And every so often they'd bring in another half brother, and it'd be the same actor, but he's just like, he's like going to do an Irish accent, and now he's going to do a Chinese. Well, they never actually brought in his Chinese half brother, but they hinted that he existed. Because I think even Magnum PI knew that would be a bad idea.
I mean, Amiko is from the comics, but it was like Thea
but
was
the
his
new comics. So it's not like it's old school.
I mean, Thea was
they pulled Thea from Amiko.
Thea is when his mother had an affair with Malcolm Merlin. Amiko is his father had like a whole nother family with another woman.
I guess that's the joy of being a billionaire.
Rich people.
Yeah, you can afford it, you know? See, it's like, yeah, who wouldn't like to have a second family, but who can afford it?
But then nobody told Oliver about that, you know.
Moira, like, they just keep, like, Moira was
I know, they just keep
like,
stacking all this stuff on her grave.
like, she's dead anyway. Just let her be the bad guy.
Killed her in season 2. Yeah, let's just say how evil
and
she
let's
was.
not forget that on her death episode, they're like, oh yeah, and she bribed the baby's mama. Let's just
I mean, at this point, there would be like, how many baby mamas did she bribe? She bribed Oliver's baby mama. She
Robert's
bribed the mistress of her husband. Yeah, it's just
probably
as rich people do. Like, honestly, it's the whole setup for, spoiler alert, Altered Carbon, pretty much. So I mean, it's a popular thread to go off of.
I thought we were going to say that's the whole spoiler alert for Donald Trump, but okay.
I mean, if the shoe fits, or if the baby hands can't hold it, whatever.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like McDonald's? Anyway,
I've been eating at Burger King just because.
I thought he was. Didn't he get like a mix of Burger King and McDonald's so that no one had to feel?
Oh, I think there was Pizza Hut there too. Yeah, there was
you
a couple,
you want to.
Bye, Burger King. Chick-fil-A, here I come. No, Shake Shack. Yeah, Shake Shack. Shake Shack never hurt anybody.
I heard you like the Whopper.
Anyway, I'm intrigued by Amiko, but it's like, it's so much convenient. Plot point is convenient that they have these identical experiences, basically, that they can pass for each other with their movements, except for she does Sweet Roy backflips. That's like the only difference between the two.
Oh yeah, that's why Roy was in those flash forwards this season, because they wanted you to think it was Roy in the suit until they unmasked her.
I was like, that's still too tall and too thin, because let me tell you, Colton's put on some weight, and good for him. Good for him.
Well, I mean, it works this season because it's like a flash forward how many years, so he it helps him look older.
20.
And,
But Renee, oh my god, I'm so mad with Wild Dog. Like,
oh, what, in the flash forward?
Yeah,
I know, man.
I was like, this changes everything, Hoss. You got a perm, son. You got a perm. You sold out. Looking like Al Sharpton's illegitimate child over there. Like,
did he get rid of the scar too?
Makeup.
Okay.
Makeup.
But then I see all the fanboys complaining online. They're like, "Oh, are they going to kill off Oliver Queen and replace him with Amiko?" I'm like, oh.
I mean, I know it's the CW and they love to go #feminism, but nah, son, we ain't going there.
I see all kind of people. They're like, "Oh, the Monitor's going to kill him next season, and she's going to take over." Because he made that Elseworlds, yeah.
I mean, if they want Arrow to go to season 10, which I'm feeling like they totally do, they would never do that. Stephen Amell is the heart and soul of this show. If he goes, everybody goes.
Yeah, and you don't write out your lead character just for story purposes.
Yeah, Walking Dead.
You know,
Season 3B would like to have a word with you. Charlie doesn't know. He doesn't know about season 3B of Arrow, and that's okay.
okay, well, no. I mean, it's called Arrow.
Magic herbs.
And it's not Green Arrow. It's not the Oliver Queen show. She is a Arrow. She uses Arrow. She wears the same suit.
I know, but okay. Here's what I'm going to say. When they wrote out Lucy Lawless from Xena for like a season, it was because there was like a legitimate reason why Lucy Lawless had to be written out of this show for a season. And I can imagine, there's going to be a reason why. They need to. Stephen Amell needs to take a break from Arrow for a season.
That happened in season 4.
Yeah, exactly. But something happens. The guy has to take some time off. He fell off a horse. We're gonna bring in
too soon.
Somebody else.
Too soon.
I'm sorry.
Fell off a horse. Christopher Reeves. It's too soon.
Oh no! That was actually specifically what happened to Lucy Lawless when she was written out of Xena.
I thought it's because she was pregnant.
She fell off a horse and she was pregnant. Wanted to keep an eye on her.
Honestly, yeah. Well, I mean, I know she did fall off the horse, and she did injure her back. And then maybe after she was healed, she also, might as well get pregnant. I got the rest of the season. So,
I'm on my back anyway for a couple weeks.
Well, not for nothing. When you're an actress, you actually do those kind of plannings because you gotta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
or you
that's business.
Everything with a big plant, or you just sit down.
Yeah. So it would not. So yeah. So when they wrote out Xena, that was the idea, but Xena was the star. But you knew why Xena was gone in the fan community. It wasn't because and honestly, and here's what I'll say is if Stephen Amell was making people mad at CW, then yes, you could definitely say yes. They're gonna write him out because nobody likes him because he's the Shannon Doherty of his own show.
We're gonna leave Shannon alone. I will stand and fangirl for Shannon. It's never her fault. I love her.
I'm sure. But what we can say is that when Shannon Doherty gets let go, there's always a lot of talk about why they're letting her go beforehand.
Yes.
They're not gonna can Stephen Amell on a whim. He's not Tasha Yar. Okay. They're not going to say, and nothing.
Everybody that really knows that. It's just people that are freaking out, and
yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm going to say. It's like, so yeah, you don't have to worry about them replacing Stephen Amell until that happens. Everyone else is up for grabs.
Yeah, not David Ramsey or Emily Bettreggers. Those two as well are kind of like safe. Everybody knows.
I don't think so. They will kill off a beloved character who isn't the star.
Only if your name's Laurel. Sorry. Only if your character's name's Laurel. And
I'm talking in general for storytelling at the moment. That's why Game of Thrones is so popular, because anyone can die except for Peter Dinklage, who is like the most popular character, and
until season 8, which is the final season coming.
Well, yeah, final season, everybody gets to die. And just the dragons take over. It'll be great.
I gotcha.
It's all dragons all the way down.
What?
I thought it was going to be the new drop, but no. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, I love a good argument. If somebody wants to argue with me, I'm always down for that.
And by the way, Charlie, can I just say that I would kill for you and Maz to be like a stand-up duo?
Okay. Oh, yes. I would love that. I got to find time to do that. And I know Maz would love that. And it's always been my dream to be part of a stand-up comedy team. And, I'm fat. He's skinny. It's like, it writes itself.
Laurel and Hardy.
We could be, man. We could be the next Laurel and Hardy. We could be the next Abbott and Costello.
And you could just polish it up over there on the Nuff Said feed, Get your practice in.
Well, I gotta work. I gotta meet him for drinks. She gets to hear all the behind the scenes stuff. So, yeah, I gotta meet him for drinks in the city. I gotta not get fired from my current city job, which I'm feeling good about.
Sounds like a plan. Have a good night.
and then eventually you'll see, Maz and Chaz. I'll give him top billing.
It's Maz. It's Chaz.
And we really want to be your friends.
God. But anyway, yeah, the Flash was stupid though. I just have to say, I'm over the Flash completely now. Nora needs to go home. I don't care if she doesn't have a home to go to. She needs to get out.
Because Cicada injured Nora, it broke her back for a while, and so Barry wanted to kill Cicada, literally.
Why is he called Cicada?
Because he makes
Because of the noise his mask makes. Duh. Like, come on, logical.
Mic drop. Duh.
I'm just saying, it's like, of all the insects in the
Because he's
universe,
annoying, and he won't go away, and he comes back.
Well, yeah, well, cicadas do go away. That's the
I
thing with
know, that's
cicadas.
the point. Like, he just keeps coming back, even more annoying. Just when you think they've stopped, here they come again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
not even like the comic book cicada. Like, he doesn't have a cult or anything.
No, I know. When they announced it was gonna be Cicada, I'm like, oh, the cult and all.
We're doing Savitar 2.0, but better.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not.
No, it's just a guy with a lightning bolt,
Piece
dark
of
matter
satellite
thing.
meta tech. Oh, just the season of Flash. I'm just glad that everybody's kind of ignoring Iris and like hating on Nora. So I can just be like, I love the actress, but the character is annoying. So yes, leave my Iris alone.
Well, I think I read somewhere, aren't they gonna have Iris like go back to reporting?
Yes, because the Ragdoll episode, everyone's like, yeah, you should do that. But you know what it is that Wells is the master detective this season. And so he's literally taking Ralph Gibney's job, Barry's job, and Iris's job. So it's just like the worst.
They just wanted to make a show about Wells.
You know what? They can put that on the CW seed. I love Tom Cavanaugh. He can direct himself in all of the episodes. Okay?
Oh, there we go.
It has to be Wells free.
There we go. For DC Universe,
Council of Wells.
The Council of Wells.
No,
there
CWC,
you go.
because this is the CW. They don't mix.
Call
Literally.
it.
I would love to see a Council of Wells show. I'm just going to throw that out there. That sounds great.
All Wells that ends Wells.
Oh, well, that's your first episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true.
Or the series finale, however you want to cut that.
Yeah.
First or last. You can't be anything in between.
And then Jesse Martin's coming back after his back problems. Speaking of
I'm so
back
happy.
problems.
Maybe I just hope he didn't get a taste and be like, you know what? Write me out. Don't kill me off, but write me out. Next time you got a singing episode, call me.
He's coming back, so I'm assuming he wants.
I don't know, I don't know, when actors, especially older actors, they get like a taste of like not having to do that hard grind. Because man, I don't know that I would want to do 16-hour days ever. Like, and then when you start doing it, then you take a break from it, you're like, but I got all this sweet Law and Order residual money. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean
it's season 5. They can get residuals now, so. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. Well, the issue is whether or not he can get the roles to make him feel complete as an actor. To keep on being lethargic on it. That's the thing. Is like when you're an actor, you're an actor because you want to be an actor. And hi, Benny. You can be like, you can go and do, road shows of Uncle Vanya, because people will show up to see your Uncle Vanya if you. Hi, Chrissy. Oh, what?
It accidentally knocked down.
Oh, that's fine. I'll pick it up later. Been falling down all day. But you can go do Uncle Vanya, which is what every actor wants to do, if you have enough money and you have enough pull to actually fill a theater as Uncle Vanya. But, then it's also just, now I have to do Uncle Vanya every time I go out. It's like, it's no different than saying, oh, I have to keep on doing The Flash. I have to keep on doing Uncle Vanya. It's not any better that as an actor than just to say, okay, I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep on working as an actor because here's someone who's going to pay me to act. It's not like he was ever asked to do that much. It's a 16-hour day, but it's 16-hour a day.
That's even the worst when you're just look. As somebody who has done PA production assistant stuff, that is the worst when it's a slow time and you still have to be there.
Well, yes, but Lilith, again, you had to be there, but you had to be there as a working person. If you had to be there, let me put it this way, Lilith, if you had to be there in your trailer with your dogs reading comic books.
That gets boring, I'm telling you. As a person who has worked for themselves, that gets boring. It does.
Yeah,
actors like to be challenged. They do.
Yeah, this is true. And again, like I said, he's got enough money that he can go do a roadshow of Uncle Vanya if he wants. He can go.
Maybe not Uncle Vanya, but yeah.
Hey, he can play freaking Alexander Hamilton. Okay, he can do Uncle Vanya. Okay.
Anyway, what else?
He's been drained by Absorbing Man, so now he's skinny.
Immortal Hulk.
Oh, he's reading Immortal Hulk right now. And he noticed that Hulk is very skinny in this because he has been...
Of course, Tristan's going to go right for Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, he does look a little like Abomination. It's because his bones are sticking out. But that's mostly just the MCU Abomination.
All right, so should we go to comics?
Yes, let's do comics.
Thank you, Tristan Esser.
Thank you, Tristan Esser, for having us segue to comics.
Thank you. Speaking of comics, what did everyone read this week?
He says you're welcome. I read all my comic books for once.
I had a small week, yeah.
Yeah, I had to caught up on all the old comic books.
I know, he was reading on Comic Justice last night.
I was reading. I did not finish it, though. I just got to that Alpha fight, and I just had to stop.
He's like,
basically what I said, this comic book is not going to get any better after this. I'm going to walk away and call it a day. Yeah, just give me all the comics that are there so I can hold them up if I need to. Not the one that's just a cover that's been falling off. So,
Lilith, are you reading Shazam?
Of course.
What did you think of 2?
I thought it was better than 1, which surprised me. I am very interested in what they're doing, but it feels like maybe the movie's going this round.
Here you go, Master.
Thank you.
I think they're giving us hints of what the movie's going to do.
Okay, just like the.
Do you?
Maybe. I mean,
because it seems like it's a different tone than the last Shazam book that we had.
Yeah.
It was really good too, honestly. Until the end there, it kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good considering they really didn't like transform or anything.
Yeah.
Billy and the kids, but I mean, are they trying to get away from that New 52 stuff too?
I thought the New 52 stuff was okay.
Yeah.
They didn't go far enough, and then it got cut very short.
I think they want a healthy mix of like New 52 and like a classic vibe.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I think it was the second best DC book this week.
Ooh, what was the first?
Believe it or not, Pearl. I thought was the best DC book, which is a Bendis book.
Oh,
I like Pearl. Like I said, I like his other stuff. I do.
Okay.
So. If you're not reading Pearl, you should kind of like take it up. It's really interesting. It's not very talky either, as I thought it might be. It's a lot of action.
It's a Bendis book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it a Wonder imprint where he's writing with someone else, or is it just straight Bendis?
Straight Bendis, straight DC.
Oh, so he's basically expanding his horizons. He's saying I can do other things.
Issue number 1, where he's the CIA cover is a comic book artist.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute.
No, not that one. Hold on.
No, that was Condor Man.
Yes. No,
that was Condor Man.
No, Pearl was originally going to be a 6-issue miniseries, but this is now officially an ongoing. So
no, but the idea of the comic book artist who's a CIA agent, that was Condor Man. It's a Disney film from the 80s. Really good. Look it up.
Disney film from the 80s is not animated. Oh,
no.
Even the Disney stuff in the 80s that was animated was garbage. Everybody knows.
Yeah. But no, look up Condor Man. It's I think Stan Lee might have had something to do with that film in some way. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually do think that was like there was a Stan Lee reference. I think actually Stan Lee might have been part of the development of Condor Man. But look it up. It's about a comic book writer gets recruited by the CIA. And it's great, man. And then basically the CIA just builds him all of his comic book stuff to be Condor Man with. It's crazy.
It's something Charlie Esser would like. Let me just put it that way.
Are you reading? You probably are not, Charlie, but you should. I feel like Freedom Fighters is up your alley.
Oh, Freedom Fighters is just so up my alley. I wanted to get it and was like,
it's only on issue 2. It's not too late. I wanted to just.
Oh man, it's so hard to jump in on issue 2. It's like, I missed issue 1. I wanted to do it, and I know that they've done the whole thing where they've recreated the Plastic Man formula.
Yes.
And like,
Plastic Man is the name of the arc and stuff. Yeah.
I know, and I was I already got my 5 books because, hey, not for nothing, Marvel did put out a horror anthology book this month.
I hear you, buddy. I was like, Phantom Lady of Black Condor. I had to.
Crypt of Shadows.
Crypt of Shadows, yeah, man.
Good.
I tried to get you to read it.
He's like, I'll be taking this. Thank you.
He's like,
you'll have to read the book and then you'll know exactly who that is. No, none of these people are familiar, but this is just a great book. Crypt of Shadows was amazing.
Oh yeah.
As a great way to. It was a great way to do an anthology book that all tied together, because it's like 3 different writers writing 3 different stories, and yet they all tie together within this overall arc. It's really a good book. I highly recommend picking up Crypt of Shadows. It's just I guess because it's like been 40 years or 50 years or 100 years that Marvel's been making books. So they're like coming out with, they've got a Western book. They've got another one called War is Hell. They've got like a romance book coming out. They've got Silly Seal and Somebody Pig coming out next week.
Yeah, they're doing like a lot of like homages to like the past of Marvel, because like they put what was it last week, Marvel Comics Presents, and I think they're doing something with Marvel Tales and
well, but it's great, and honestly I'm hoping Crypt of Shadows comes back, man. Even without a host, it's awesome. For an anthology book without a host to really sell, to me, is great, Yeah, I know. I saw the teaser for Wolverine with an Infinity Gauntlet.
So you read Naomi? Everybody?
Yes. Yeah. I read Naomi.
I did.
I thought it was very interesting how I feel like David Walker definitely balanced the things that I don't
save it for your podcast.
As a fan, like as somebody who's read both of them separately, seeing them together, you can see who does what, basically. For me, anyway.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just very curious what this mystery is going to be.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Because I posted, because David F. Walker, he's been hyping it, and this is one of the few times, since I've been like twice, that David F. Walker has reacted to something I said to him, and I said, superhero conspiracies, I'm all over this. And he just been this big laughy face. I don't know if he's laughing at me. He's like, haha, fool, you have no idea what we're going to do.
No, he would have hashtagged you dumbass if he thought it was stupid. So we're in the clear.
That's what Peter David.
It goes around in a circle, though.
Yeah, I know. But what I'll say is, so I don't know if it is. I mean, I'm excited because I don't know if it's a conspiracy. All I gotta say is the guy who runs the garage, that guy clearly looks meta.
Yeah.
It's like, you are clearly not a normal human being living in this small town.
He's the size of the cars in the garage. Yeah, I think he might be meta.
Yeah. He's like that from Into the Spider-Verse.
Last time I saw a human who looked like that, he was actually a Skrull cow.
They're going to say Kingpin in certain iterations.
Yeah, well, no, but now we know Kingpin has superpowers. So.
Oh yeah, because he took a repulsor blast or whatever from Doctor Doom. Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight up. He's been doing the Marco. He's been doing the Marco, man. You don't make a Marco just to make a one Marco. It's like, no, let's see if we can like figure out how to do this right and create these characters. And then we're going to give ourselves these superpowers, because why would we give villains a bunch of superpowers that we couldn't recreate and use ourselves to be in charge of them? That's just stupid.
At first, I thought you were just talking about Kane Marco, but you're talking about Man Mountain Marco.
Of course.
What's that last name? These guys get super strength. They're named Marco.
I actually believe that they're cousins. I actually believe that Kane Marco and Man Mountain Marco are actually both.
Marvel does have a thing with cousins.
I believe they're cousins. In fact, I've always you know what? Now another thing, when I did write my little fan theory, my fan fiction, basically was when they were taking open submissions again for like a week. That was going to be a thing. Was like Man Martin Marco, sort of a redemptive hero arc for Man Martin Marco when he goes to Detroit working for the local mob. Yeah. And then they bring in his. It's like, oh no, it's my. Actually, I think I had it as his brother, but I had it as my cousin, and it's Sandman, who just because you actually get to see him like when he's facing not people named Spider-Man, he's actually really impressive. But then they bring in his cousin to beat the heck out of him. And so that was going to be like part of the arc.
Oh, I just wanted to shout out Jamal Campbell, who did the artwork on Naomi. I thought it was really great.
Oh, yeah, very good.
He's going to be very, very involved with the Wonder side of the imprint. So I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Let me say two things about that. One, I agree. His art is fantastic. It was really beautiful comic book art. I don't know if people still wear hats that big in this. Her goth friend has a really big 80s hat. And it really made me go, if nothing else, the big hat reminded me, oh, wait, comic books are filled with perfect people. And it's one of these weird things that you never really think about with comic books. But the fact that everybody, no matter who they are or what they're doing, their hair is always what it's supposed to be. Their clothes are always what they're supposed to be. Everyone's look it's as if someone had drew it on them. And it was this, and having that big hat just reminded me, oh yeah. But that's a big hat that no one would actually wear in real life. So
that
was like
conform to your fashion.
69 would like to have a word with you. People that have like braids and dreads, they do wear big hats. I'm just saying to get over there. Yeah. So.
But well, okay. First off, that was clearly a Boy George hat from the 80s.
Let Charlie Esser explain black culture to you.
Don't even act like that was not a character based on Boy George. Second off, I don't think she had braids or dreads because, you know.
I'm just saying, though. Like, there's people that would wear it.
Well, not that style of hat. That is a very specific style of hat. A big hat is okay. That specific style of hat, it's an affectation hat. It's an 80s hat. It's very much an 80s affectation. And it's something that if I had seen it in an 80s comic, I would not have thought twice of it. Seeing it in a second decade of the 21st century, I'm like, that hat doesn't look like what someone nowadays would wear. I haven't seen that hat in 20 years. Is basically what I'm saying.
So, bro, hipsters.
yeah. You can always, and that's the thing. I guess, and I'm sure that would be his argument. She's a hipster.
And you know, there's a spectrum of being a hipster too. So she's probably like level 2 hipster.
I know. Well, she's officially goth. They call her out as goth. And I know goth.
She's just a hipster who likes black. There, I said it.
I know. Well,
wait, I got the button.
Fight me, nerd.
No, but basically, in a book that good, you have to find that one thing to pick out. You gotta do that one untied knot so as not to offend God. No, it was really great. I love the idea that this girl is recognizing that something is weird because, and it's such a weird thing to have. It's like, wait a minute, our town never gets visited by superheroes. Superheroes are a real thing. I love the fact that they made this point about, if Superman was really a hero, he'd come and help clean up. And then like the next day, Superman helps to clean up the mess they made. And it's just all these great little nerd answer things that I'm loving about it. And it's exciting to see where it's going to go, especially when it's like, well, the last time something's super happened here was the day you were born. The day you were adopted. There we go. And that makes it an interesting story. I'm really excited by it.
Oh, yeah.
It's Once Upon a Time. That's all I'm going to say. The TV show Once Upon a Time. Move on. Just keep it moving.
All right.
Well, always something. But then they also made this interesting point about, the desire as an adopted person to be Superman, that Superman syndrome. And, that there's this. They did a lot of great things calling out tropes of comics and how comics influence human society. And I really liked it in a lot of ways. So that was great.
Lilith, did you read Uncanny X-Men Annual #1?
I was going to get to that, but I want to just say that Immortal Hulk #12 was the best Marvel book this week.
Oh, again.
Yeah.
I think you said that last issue also.
And that was the one that inspired Tristan to get us talking about comics.
Yeah, that's all right.
Because something's up with the Hulk there.
Yeah.
We get like deep. I mean, we get into like his father's backstory.
Exactly. I was just like, I was not expecting this from Immortal Hulk. I was just like, okay. And then like since issue 8, I've been like, whoa, with it.
Yeah, they definitely made a left turn on this. This is again one of my favorite things in this is how we have the two black and white panels, and there are images that are the same between them and images that are different.
Yes.
And, you know, clearly that's Banner's father there. Because we do reference, you know, and I knew that looking at that that's something with his wife. I didn't know if that was when he was dying, but that's when, you know, they had to cut him out, which wasn't actually a thing when Banner would have been a child, but, you know. Yeah, this is a great, powerful book. And so, like, so are we saying this is the Devil Hulk? Skinny Hulk is the Devil Hulk? Is that what we're saying here?
I guess, but I mean, he came out before that even, because didn't Jackie McGee say, I want to talk to Devil Hulk, and he was like, you know, when he comes out and says, oh yeah, sometimes when I lose control, the big guy comes out, and
yeah, and we get Classic Hulk, which isn't really Classic Hulk, and man, we talk about how this author reaches back to like the classic, Incredible Hulk TV show. I think what he's really doing here is reaching back to the original Incredible Hulk book, where Hulk was smart. There wasn't the dissociative identity in that first issue of Incredible Hulk. He is, I am the Hulk. I'm also the world's greatest, you know, physics mind. And, you know, fight me, Reed Richards.
That's why I can't wait for Fantastic Four to come into the MCU, because sure, we have Tony and Bruce being science bros, but come on.
Yeah, well, you know,
we need Illuminati.
No,
we need that pimple cream, damn it.
You know what's great about Reed Richards? Clearly they have it in this universe, because it's all filled with actors. What's great about Reed Richards is he's like the one person who doesn't talk about how smart he is. Really, he does. I mean, he will say, I've got a plan and I know what I'm going to do. He never says, listen to me, I'm the world's smartest man. He's not like Tony Stark or anyone else who's always like saying, you have to listen to me because I am the world's smartest man. I don't know if he says he's the world's greatest detective. So Reed Richards is not about the self-hype.
Does Tony go around bragging he's the smartest man? I know he says he's like the richest and the best looking, but I don't...
he's a bragger, but I don't know.
He always is bragging. He is always bragging. And Banner brags when he's the Hulk.
You know what? Iron Man 1, he did. If we're going to do movies, he did brag about doing the thing in the cave, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, everyone said it. Stain, everyone. Yeah. Tony Stark built us in a cave.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, but that's what's great about Reed Richards is like he's going to be like the one guy who is a super genius, who is just comfortable being. No, I know I'm the world's smartest man, and because I'm so smart, I actually have the emotional intelligence to know that it's not a big deal to be that smart, because lots of people are smart, and how much smarter I am than Tony Stark isn't really measurable. So it's not really like I have to make a big thing. I mean, although someone's going to try and measure it, it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yes, what is your one question, please? Okay. You think about it during the commercial break, during Super Connectivity, when it's our time.
It's our time.
Because you have to tell everyone what you thought about Fantastic Four, so that'll be great.
Oh. So, Lilith, you said you did read Uncanny X-Men Annual?
I did. And, you know, I'm not a Cyclops fan, but I thought this book was great.
I think they're on the road to bring him back. Well, they had to bring him back from the dead, and you know, I think this is going to be the start of the redemption of Cyclops, because they kind of subtly undoing the Bendis stuff. The kids have gone back to their own time, and
yes,
I mean we're painting Cyclops in a more heroic light again. He's even wearing the suit he wore before Bendis showed.
I noticed that. I'm so like, I hope we can do that once he's done with Superman.
What? Oh, to redeem Superman.
It all up and just
okay. Hey, Bendis is the guy who brought back red shorts, as I
the trunks.
Recall, so,
honestly, if I'm going to be honest, and you can hate me, I never really missed the trunks.
Fight me, nerd.
Yeah, really. I miss those.
I mean, they're doing it with Batman too. I can see it more with Superman than Batman.
Here's the thing. Lilith doesn't understand
She's not
that when you're wearing a unitard, you need the trunks to hold things in place.
That's right, Lilith. You don't understand the male wedgie. Come on.
No. But the point, no, that's the problem is there is no wedge. Okay, look.
No,
because this is all based off of the original design by Leotard, who created the onesie back in the 1800s. And the fact of the matter is that he always wore a pair of briefs over it because you need support for your friends and family when you're wearing such a revealing outfit, because otherwise you just wind up with this big open gap in that area, and it looks weird, and it's also uncomfortable.
Phrasing.
I stand by the boob window and long boxes.
Well, no, but that's fine. But even a boob window has to account for a bra. You need something to both lift.
Unless you're a power girl.
Well, but even that lifts and separates. That's all I'm saying.
You
need something to cross your heart for 18 hours in that situation. Oh, Tristan, a sexually adventurous freak. All monsters go to space. You'll like it.
So are we going to talk about Superior Spider-Man or not?
Yes!
I don't care. I was going to say it for super connectivity, but go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to step on your guys' stuff.
No, we can talk. Trust me, I got stuff for super connectivity.
No, trust me. He can talk about this all day. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude, let's not forget. One more day.
Oh.
Yes, I thought Phil was gonna.
Oh, did you read Champions?
I did not get the chance, but.
Oh, okay. So we got lots of Spider books to talk about. Anyway.
So you can do Superior Spider.
That's our Superior.
You're saving it because I know Phil probably wants to chomp at the bit about Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man too. So
I was gonna say,
what?
yeah, we go.
Yeah, let's talk Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Although they didn't get back to what I wanted, they didn't go into that Aunt May thing again.
Thankful.
It's just basically this weird thing where he's like basically Spider-Man gets left with these orange or red kids.
Depending on how colorblind you are.
There's some kind of big conspiracy going on, and then he's roommates with Boomerang, who likes to walk around in a Speedo or whatever.
My favorite.
Because you need the support. That's all I'm saying is trust me, you need that support.
And I usually defend Peter Parker, but I know Lilith is he's the captain of bad life decisions. So who does he call when he needs a babysitter?
Black Cat.
No, Johnny Storm.
You wish.
Johnny Storm has never let a kid on fire and has 2 small nieces and nephews. He knows kids. He was part of the Future Foundation.
He is a kid.
I was going to say, he is immature.
It's like babies watching babies.
Well, it's not like he's going to give them whiskey. Okay? He's not going to give them whiskey. He's fine to watch children.
All right, we got a couple minutes left. Charlie, have you ever heard there's this mysterious old woman and she reveals herself to be the Rumor?
No.
Anyone heard of the Rumor? I don't know. She just basically. That's the last page.
Well, obviously that's her introduction, because you only get that big of a title in your first appearance.
Yes.
Oh, sure, this isn't just a reincarnation of Madam Web?
Well, she looks like she has some kind of super strength or something, so.
Well, we don't know that Madam Web didn't have superpowers before she became a paraplegic.
Her superpowers were clairvoyance, wasn't it?
Yeah, but she could get Spider powers too.
Oh yeah, everyone has them now. Yeah, it's a brand
really. Those spiders keep on showing up, man.
There is one book I definitely want you to pick up if you can find it, Charlie. It is an Archie book, but I think you will like it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it's in their horror vibe. It's Blossoms 666 #1,
Whoa.
and it's about the Blossom twins. One of them is the Antichrist, but we don't know which one yet.
This is Cheryl Blossom
and her twin brother Jason.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Jason Blossom.
Yeah, they were twins.
Okay, see, I did not know that. Well, obviously. Well, I want to say obviously Jason's the evil one because Cheryl is a known character. Although I suppose.
But this is the horror thing where anything can go wrong, and we just ended, Jughead being a werewolf. So
yeah,
anything can happen.
As you do.
Anything could happen, and obviously, I guess you would want Cheryl to be the star, so she would be the Antichrist, or maybe they're going to do.
They're both the Antichrist.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Hellstrom issue where
it's like Devil's Advocate, where they have to have sex to actually make the baby.
No.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, Riverdale loves incest. The TV show.
That may be true. That may be true, but. I'm just complaining about the Devil's Advocate. I mean,
Oh well, yeah.
Keanu Reeves and but that was Al Pacino, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Al Pacino and Keanu Reeves, and yet somehow I don't want to say it's a bad movie.
It's watchable and it's rewatchable, but the ending does leave you pissed off every time.
I'll say it's a rough movie. It's a rough movie to watch. It's
after about the halfway point, it's just
Although again, I do love Al Pacino as the devil.
Yes, that was great casting for that time.
Didn't he play the devil in Little Nicky too? Was that him again, or?
Oh, Adam Sandler, out of my wheelhouse. Sorry.
Okay, I'm trying to remember who, but it was another great,
I can't remember,
classic yelling actor. I can't remember if it was Robert De Niro or Al Pacino. But, oh, by the way, I have to issue a correction. It is Henry Rollins who is the Poison's teacher, not Trent Reznor.
As hard as it is
in a weird band, though. I'll give you that.
Hard as it is to believe people, Charlie Esser got a name wrong.
No, I get names wrong all the time, and yes, that is true. But what I will say is, I will always admit when I'm wrong. I'm that guy who holds to my false statements or tries to defend them in any way. It's like, no, I was completely wrong, and sorry, I was wrong. But Henry Rollins is great, also in Deadly Class episode 2. So
yeah, I think that's about it, Philip. If you want to wrap it up,
our time's about up. All right, so everyone, send us your thoughts on comics, TV, the news.
Ooh, who's going to see Glass? Is anybody interested in Glass?
I want to see it. I still haven't seen Split. I gotta catch Split. I gotta catch Split, and then I want to go see Glass. Yeah.
Unbreakable, one of my favorite non-franchise superhero movies.
When does Glass come out?
Except now it is.
It's been out for 2 weeks.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was on. All right. Yeah, we'll have to do something with that. All right, send us all the thoughts. capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics on Instagram, Capes and Lunatics podcast on Pinterest, and the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And Lilith?
If you nerds want to fight me or change my mind over on Twitter, you can find me at Lilith Hellfire. If you want to hang out on the gram, at Lilith Hellfire 86. And if you want to talk superheroes, Smallville, Superman specifically, how much you hate Bendis or love Bendis, whatever, at Somebody Save Me Pod.
All right, and the showman, Charlie Esser, where can people find you?
Oh, you can always write to me that old-fashioned email way. The way I'm Austin Pause once said at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet the Orville and a little bit of Gotham, which I finally got to do because me and Miles decided not to go and do an extra episode on Thursday. At Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
And there you go.
Just shout out to Mr. Moaz Manzor for all the quality content.
Yes. Yes. And he's MOZZMANZOOR on Facebook. Look him up.
All right, everyone. Been quite the ride. Join us next time.
Episode 90.
That's right. Inching ever closer to that special 100. Got big plans. And anyway, for another week, we have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
The Lunatics.
Way to close it out, Will.
You know what? Papanopoli, okay?
I'm married to an Italian. Don't be giving me that. I know what all that means. Oh. I see you, Fudgy.
Why doesn't the lizard have a snout in Amazing Spider-Man? Why is his face flat?
No, he does have a snout.
We answer all these questions
Why
every
do
week.
he have no?
Stay tuned.